Hello and welcome to another modelling video. This is Alan from the Man at YouTube with another modelling video. I've been meaning to make this video for a long time, but I haven't had enough time to explore. But this will be a balanced review on the Plamo UK line of colour lacquer paints from the United Kingdoms by the hobby supply sites. I think it's Plamo UK or Gundam UK by Kyle Walker. Now this line of paint has caused a lot of controversy among the community for issues with customer service and postage, and I may make other controversial content all over the internet, but this is going to be a balanced review looking at the quality of this product and if it fits into your hobby style. Let's get into it. First, straight into customer service, friendly use of websites. When I put in my initial order, I thoroughly screwed up, ignored it for a few months and found it didn't go through. Once I played with it enough and contacted the website, eventually I got my order in. They initially had some difficulties. They told me that they've never shipped to Australia, and that is humbly forgiven. They looked after me. They regularly communicated with me, and I was extremely happy that even though it took a few months for the box to arrive in my hands, they thoroughly looked after me. There is opposing opinions. I'm going to link a video down below, or video response down below, to someone else that has had a different experience. I'm also quite ashamed to say that a certain modelling website forum bullied him over his opinion. He spent a lot of money and was quite upset and was treated very poorly. So shame on the website for treating a valued member of the community like so. Now, once I got my order, you'll clearly see that they come in very large vial bottles. Now, when I started ordering these, there was a shipping issue of getting lacquers into Australia, and other countries are having something very similar from Asia. This has been resolved, and Mr. Hobby can be shipped anywhere around the world via Asia or China or Hong Kong on eBay. So Plamo UK is not the only option anymore. So you're getting these very large vials full of paint in glass, and these are quite heavy and unfortunately quite expensive, especially if you're not going to use the colour across many models. Your primaries like black, white, blue, red, yellow is fine, but some of the weirder colours, yeah, you get the story. It's going to cost you well over $20 per jar, opposed to $4, going on to $6 with shipping of a Mr. Hobby bottle. I found the consistency of the paint to not be as thick. It recommends only a 50% thinning ratio, which I use a lot less. I find it to be extremely way too watery. Doesn't stick to the kit as well and requires a large build-up. You'll find you'll be consuming these paints extremely quickly, opposed to the much smaller standard vials of commercial companies. One of the things I was most excited about was the pre-mixed primer. Very convenient, very easy to use. This I still use, but when I run out, I'm afraid I'm going to discontinue it from my stock. Has two major flaws. The first one is it's quite thin. It doesn't have a large grit count like the Mr. Hobby. So if you fill seam lines, modify, sand, use putty, it's not going to fill micro scratches. If anything, they'll show quite prominently. So if you're pretty much doing an out-of-the-box, very modern kit that has requires very little work, this isn't going to be suitable for your style. The second problem, and this also extends into the paint range if you do use the paint on top of their primer, Its property to etch or stick to the plastic is not as great as commercial hobby primers. If you use masking products well after it dries, like the Tamiya tapes, normal masking tape, blue tack liquid masks, it's going to lift the paint and primer straight off the plastic, and thus damaging your very hard work and beautiful paint job. This is a major disappointment to me, since I do all sorts of works and techniques into my style. If you're someone that just colours in kits or does out of the box stuff without any fancy work, this may not be a problem for you. Also, some of the lacquers, the commercial ones, are known to having a very powerful, tough finish. The Plamo UK one isn't as refined and is a bit softer. Its resistance to scratch and dents is not as great. Though the argument out there would be is with enough clear coat you can even protect the weakest of acrylic finishes. With something like the Gundam range of kits and master grades, where you got a lot of articulated points and you're snapping pieces on and off constantly, you want something that is chip resistant and will protect your paint job. So normally the Mr. Hobby lacquers are always recommended for the job, and is the official paint of the Gundam range, and very strong, tough, powerful enamels. This is definitely something to keep a thought out for, even when you're using many layers of clears. I had found one fault with one of the paints, which I probably should have contacted Kyle over and had it swapped over. The gloss black was extremely thin. It did not have the same consistency as the other 9-10 vials, and when mixed with thinner, just drooped straight off the kit like a really loose wash. The paint straight out of the tin into the airbrush still didn't stick to the kit quite well, and looked translucent or like a smoke paint, but still not the same thickness. Using more than half of the entire jar still did not cover that large figure, which I imagine a full body paint would have, and that definitely greatly disappointed me. In conclusion, you're going to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on a range of paints from this small garage made manufacturer, not considered a commercial or a professional company, for very large bottles, which is also quite expensive to ship from the United Kingdom. The paints do have a lot of good points. The colours are extremely vibrant. They're very suitable for other ranges of kits that are not as well suited or supplied from other manufacturers, and they're very involved in the community, sponsoring prizes for competitions and forums, which is very admirable. Though in the end, if you're shelling out this much money and there's customer service concerns and product concerns and not matching up as well as other manufacturers, I've used dozens and dozens of different types of paints from different major companies around the world. In my only personal opinion, yours may differ, and if you do use the line and very happy with it, definitely would like to have a response so people can have a more informed opinion. But it's not going to be used in my style anymore. I'll use what paints I do have in my stock, but once they're out, they're out. And I encourage people, if you do wish to have a try, just buy one paint and sample it. Don't throw a lot of money all at once, as it is quite an expensive hobby. Thank you very much for watching. I hope I did not offend anyone out there. This is just only my personal opinions from using the paints on my own models and my own paints. Looking at the SDD style Liger, the white looks quite beautiful on there. Thank you very much for watching. Keep modelling and have a good day.